Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are settling a major debate in the world of AI assistants. We're going to dive deep into the data to figure out, once and for all, who comes out on top in the battle between two of the biggest names in the game.
So, you're trying to pick an AI assistant, right? And you've probably heard these two names thrown around a lot, Claude and Perplexity. So, which one should you actually use? We're going to answer that question by analyzing thousands of real user reviews to see what the data says. No speculation, just the facts.
All right, first things first, let's get to know our challengers. In one corner, we have Claude. It was launched back in 2022 by a company called Anthropic, and its whole deal, its entire brand, is about being helpful, honest, and most importantly, harmless. And in the other corner, you've got the newer kid on the block, Perplexity. Now, this one isn't trying to be your do-everything assistant. It calls itself an answer engine. Think of it as being laser-focused on getting you accurate info with the receipts to back it up. Okay, let's dive right into round one, and we're starting with what is, honestly, the most important thing: trust. Can you actually believe what these things tell you? So we're going to break this down into two key areas. First, citation accuracy. I mean, does it just make up its sources? And second, data privacy. What's the price you pay in terms of your personal information to use it? And right away, the data tells a very clear story. For Perplexity, user sentiment on its citations is just overwhelmingly positive. We're talking nearly 75%. That's huge. Users consistently say it does a great job of showing its work. But then you look at Claude, and wow, it's a totally different picture. Over half the reviews, 57%, are negative. People are complaining about it giving them just plain wrong or misleading info. For an AI assistant, that's a really big problem.
So yeah, this quote from a user really nails it. When you need facts you can actually verify, the user data gives a clear, decisive win to Perplexity on this one. It's not even close.
Okay, so what about privacy? Well, neither of them are perfect here, let's be honest. But look at this chart. Perplexity is holding its own with over 37% positive sentiment. Claude is at 3.3%. I mean, that's barely even on the chart. What is going on there? And we found out exactly why that number is so low. It boils down to one thing. One single complaint we saw over and over again. Claude makes you hand over your phone number just to use it. Now, you could argue that's for safety, to stop misuse, but for a lot of people, that's a huge red flag, a total deal breaker.
All right, round one was a knockout for Perplexity.
Let's see if Claude can make a comeback in round two, the test of power. This is all about raw capability. Okay, so here we're looking at two features that power users, developers and creators really care about. How good is it at writing code? And can it make pretty pictures? When it comes to helping with code, Perplexity again pulls ahead. We're seeing almost 65% positive feedback. Claude's not terrible here, to be fair, but it's definitely trailing behind. And when you dig into what people are actually saying, it gets interesting. Users say Claude is okay for simple stuff, but it tends to choke on bigger tasks. It hits usage limits or just stops. Perplexity is seen as more robust, though you do have to watch out. Sometimes it'll just invent code that looks right but is totally wrong, a classic AI hallucination. And this next part, well, it's not even really a competition. Image generation. The story is super simple. Perplexity can do it. Claude just can't. The feature is completely missing. That's a total walkover for Perplexity here. Okay, on to our final round, round three. And this one is all about the day-to-day stuff. How does it actually feel to use these tools? So we're judging this on two things. First, the user interface, the UI. Is it easy and intuitive, or is it a clunky mess? And second, extensibility. Can you add more features with plugins and integrations? And oh man, look at this. The difference in usability is just huge. More than half of Perplexity users love the interface. They call it clean and easy to use. Meanwhile, Claude, barely 16% positive. The user feedback on its UI is just not good. But this might be the final nail in the coffin. We looked at plugins, the ability to add new features. Perplexity gets a rock-solid 74% positive score. And Claude? Look at that bar. It's at 0. 0%. Not a single positive review in the data for this category. That's just wild.
Okay, after 3 rounds judged completely by what you, the users, have said, it is time to go to the scorecards and announce the final verdict. And really, this isn't a surprise, is it? Based on a clean sweep across all 6 categories, accuracy, privacy, coding, images, usability, and plugins, Perplexity is the decisive winner here. The data doesn't lie.
This table really sums it all up, doesn't it? Look at the strengths column for Perplexity. It's a long list. Excellent citations, better privacy, strong coding, the whole shebang. Now look at Claude's. Its weaknesses aren't just small things. They're huge gaps. No images, no plugins, serious privacy worries. It kind of feels like Perplexity went for a broad set of features users want, while Claude got so focused on being harmless that it forgot to be useful in these key areas.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, the takeaway is pretty clear. No matter who you are, a developer, a content creator, someone using it for business, or just a casual user, the data strongly suggests Perplexity is going to be the better tool for the job. All right, so how do you put this into action? Here are 4 quick steps. First, just go try Perplexity. Give it a shot for its wide range of features. Second, maybe test Claude, but only for really simple, specific writing tasks where you don't need sources. But the most important thing is step 3. See what works for your projects. And finally, no matter which one you use, give the developers feedback. That's how these tools get better for all of us. Look, at the end of the day, the data points to a very clear winner. But the best tool is always going to be the one that actually fits into how you work. So we leave you with this final thought. We've shown you the data, but the real question is, which of these features are you actually going to use?